Going live.
Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Amon Green, Gourmet Packers all-time leading rusher, and you're watching Packers Total Access Live, your daily source for Packer content. Go Pack, go!
What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Joined alongside Emilio in Tennessee. We got Jacob in Wisconsin. We got Tim in Green Bay, Wisconsin, here to talk Packers Lions tonight. We got a couple more updates from practice we're going to dive into. Guys, what I'm most excited about tonight, I know we got football going on, but Micah Parsons done opened it up and talked some trash about the Lions today, and I am here for it. Breaking news, Micah Parsons doesn't like the Lions, and we're going to find out about it on Sunday. So really, really excited to dive into that. We're also going to give you, like I said, the updated injury report. Seem to be getting a little bit healthier. I think we got good news from Nate Hobbs today, personally. We'll talk about that. Matthew Golden turning heads, not just with the coaches, but other leaders on the team. Really excited to talk about that. And then we'll just kind of end it with some Packers Lions preview. And throughout the night, we'll be giving you guys and gals updates on the Cowboys-Eagles game as the NFL season officially gets kicked off. Before we do all that, if you would, let's get that YouTube stuff out of the way. Hit like, hit subscribe. If this is your first time tuning into PTA, welcome. Thank you for making us a part of your day. And listen, we're not experts here. We're not insiders. We're not media members. We are fans just like you, talking Packers on the daily, breaking down film study, doing pregame shows, postgame shows, in-depth analysis, everything. And we've got one of the best chats on the face of the planet and possibly the moon as well. So really, really excited. If that's the type of stuff that you're looking for in terms of daily content from the Packers, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live. Boys, we made it. It's football season. How we doing?
Dude, excited, ecstatic. Need this. Waited.
Yeah, get ready to go.
Thank you.
All right. Y'all got anything you want to lead off with here before we jump into the Micah Parsons trash talk here, man? Anything at all?
I was going to tell you to clip that where he says, what does he say? Like, I've always hated Detroit or something like that. I can't stand Detroit. I feel like we should clip that, put it on Tim's board.
Let's
Tim
go. Put
needs
it
that
on
as
the
well.
ticker. Let's go.
Look, let's waste no time. Let's get right into it. So Micah Parsons met with the media earlier today. Ryan Wood tweeted this out. Go give him a follow at by Ryan Wood. I ain't even going to hit the quotes yet. We'll go back through them after we play the audio. Let's just let Micah talk. Here we go. Here's number one of your Green Bay Packers, also number one in your heart.
Especially with week one, this matchup being against the Lions and now being part of the rivalries in the NFC North.
Honestly, bro, I felt like Dallas and Detroit already had a rivalry. I already got that rivalry built up. Bro, I'm excited to play them. I never liked Detroit. I never liked them. Even when I was in Dallas, it's just always it was just always a heavyweight fight every time they came in, and they kind of got our guys when I was injured last year, or the whole team was injured. And so, I just think it's a funny way how things work. I'm excited to play them. I know they're excited, and it's going to go all 12 to 15 rounds. What do you think?
I love that he pointed out, hey, yeah, they kind of got us while we were banged up last year and they were running that mouth is essentially what he's saying, right? Now that he's being asked, what do you think about trick plays? You guys know Detroit is kind of notorious for the trick plays. This is my favorite quote. Check this out.
Trick plays are for people who can't beat you straight up. It's like a guy running around the ring all day trying to jab, but meet me in the middle. You know what I mean? Let's line it up. And I think that's what guys who try to do trick plays do. They can't beat you head up. They don't want to out-physical you. They don't want to be dominant. It's a scared tactic, I guess, but, I can beat you any which way.
Last one. My man is fired up, boys. Thoughts, comments? I think this is a big, big culture change for the Green Bay Packers, man. What do y'all think?
He's got an attitude. I was even listening to one of the things on YouTube. It was either his presser or it was a clip from the that one video that the Packers put out, which is like 20-minute about the season. I think it's like you've been saying, their media team has been crushing it. But he was saying, I'll bring in Connect 4 into this room right now, and I'll whoop everyone, and then I will tell them about me whooping them all. And if they have something to say about it, they can come up and talk to me. Just that mentality, bringing that kind of that vibe, that aggressivity. You know what
There
I
it
mean?
is. Brady Papinga, 101.
And
Aggressive.
he's bringing that. So it's going to be a good year.
I like how he also made a comment about how you do anything is how you do everything. You know, I relate to that as well. And, you know, he doesn't care. I'll beat you in checkers. I'll beat you on the football field. They pick up basketball. I'm gonna go hard either way. And you got to respect that. I think there's definitely not a cultural shift, but definitely an attitude shift in that defensive locker room right now for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. In that same interview, I really liked, they brought up how Mike Zimmer basically spread the word that Micah was like brilliant, that his FBI was off the charts. And they referenced how he's learning the new playbook. They said, how's that been for you? Has it been kind of a chore? He's like, nah, dude, learning a new playbook is really fun. And they were like, you know, fun. And he's like, yeah, I get to learn, you know, new concepts, new pieces, how these guys, you know, what their talents are, what their traits are. He said that he's got 80% of it learned and that he figures by next week he should probably have the whole 100% of it locked down, which is just like so cool to see him say that. And he said it just with so much, like Emil said, so much confidence. Like it's not, I mean, it's definitely cocky and it's braggadocious, but it's not, you can tell it comes from a place of him knowing that he's put in the work and the time. So it's not just fluff. He means every freaking thing he says.
And that's exactly what Hafley was saying in his presser was like, dude, his IQ, I didn't expect it. I mean, you know, I knew he was smart. People said he was smart, but it's crazy how football IQ savvy he is and just how smart of a guy he actually is.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Lentz has never heard a Packer speak like that. I kind of like it. Same, man. Again, to me, it doesn't seem like it's like, hey, guys, let me show y'all how tough I am. It's just, it seems like it's who he is, you know, and you watch him on the field and you see that. Like there's not a time that you see him on the football field and you think, he's not really into it. He's always going 100 miles an hour. And that's what Hafley talked about. He said he went back and watched all of his pressures right throughout his career. Yeah. And it's just, this dude is just 100 miles an hour all the time. I like what he said right here as well. Let's play this clip. This is from Ryan Wood on X as well. Asked about his impressions on the Packers defense.
Nightmares for people. From your perspective, what do you see? You say the potential in this defense.
Oh man, I think I agree 100% with them. I wasn't familiar with obviously the Packers defense. I was just trying to focus on mine, and we kind of just focus on offenses. But just being here, being around the guys, seeing how these guys practice, seeing how each skill set each one of them has, like Luke, man, I really like how he plays. He plays that run well. He gets up vertical really well. I know I can count on him for a bull rush. Just like understanding and learning people's play styles, and I really like how everyone's been practicing, and even some of the interior guys. Even though they lost Kenny, you can tell he really helped them guys a lot. I told him, I said, I've never been around a group full of 3 techs that can rush in and play the run like this, and it's a bunch of young guys. So I'm extremely excited about the room, the linebacker core, even the young DB core they got back there. So I think it's going to be an exciting year.
Love him giving a shout out to LVN like that, man. Absolutely awesome. So again, with that quote, if it was hard for you guys to hear, special shout out to Lucas Van Ness quote. I really like how he plays. He plays that run well. He gets up vertical well. I know I can count on him for a bull rush. I mean, and again, Micah's specialty is the speed rush, right? He's an absolute. He's like a mountain lion or something. Watching him on the field, man. You ever watch back home? Big, right? There are a lot of Wildcats and stuff back home in the hills of Eastern Kentucky. And when you see those things move, they stay low to the ground. Their feet barely come off the ground. And that's the thing when we did the chalk talk on Micah Parsons. His feet hardly come off the ground at all. And he is just moving, man. It's so nimble. It's so quick for someone his size, who obviously, what is he, like 245 or whatever it is? Yeah. You add that speed rush in, Emilio, with a bull rush from Lucas Van Ness, it's going to be absolutely huge. Man, I love that he identified that with LVN as well. Like, this guy, I know I can count on him for a bull rush.
Mm-hmm. He knows where LVN's strength is, and already just see a little bit of that FBI. Okay, all right, check. He can bull. All right, I'm gonna put that in the bag. If LVN's next to me, maybe if we're going NASCAR or something, and then we set something up with a loop, he's able to bull him. And I think he just kind of trusts it. That's taking into account the fact that Cowboys had a first round draft pick in Mozzie Smith, I'm pretty sure his name, for their D tackle, and they talk about how bad he's struggling that they almost want to unload him from the team, and it's like he's coming into this with 4th, 5th rounders and everybody but the baseline was set from Kenny. And that's who. Remember, Kenny used to bring them to his house so that they could all watch tape. He really helped Wooden get through this. And so you kind of set that floor. You put in your footers for the defense with Kenny, and everybody's building off of that. And I love that, Mike is kind of seeing where they're at, but having the ability to do both is unbelievable.
And I love how Micah gave Kenny his flowers too there. You notice he made the comment about you can still see the ripple effect on that locker room from, the mark that Kenny Clark left as a leader here in Green Bay. And it tells you a lot about Micah's FBI, but also who he is as a player, understanding the game and being the new guy here and already kind of having a grasp of, what we're trying to do defensively. It's awesome.
Yeah. I thought it was even cooler than that is they asked him, what do you, how are you blending with the guys kind of thing? And he said, I'm blessed to be around this great group of guys. He went on to say that he's never seen a locker room like this. When he came in, he was surprised at how many people were in the locker room. Just, I don't know if it was an off day or if it was, pre or post practice, but he said most of the time, you don't see that many guys that actually truly want to be together and hang out in the building. And he said that was really cool that he actually afterwards was going to go play ping pong with the tight end group. So that'd be pretty cool to be a fly on the wall for that. Watch him and Tuck Norris play some ping pong. That'd be pretty entertaining, I think.
Yeah. And, again, what he said on defensive tackles, I've never been around a group of 3 techs that can rush and play the run like this. I mean, listen, he's not going to talk bad about his new teammates, right? But, we've been talking this entire time of how this is going to help Rashawn Gary. And I was listening. I got to stop listening, to be honest with you. But I was listening to Sports Talk earlier today, and it was if Gary – how it went from, well, Gary doesn't get double-teamed. Gary doesn't get chipped. Everybody was talking about that last year, and it's like he's as if he's only being single block, which is absolute BS. We can show you on the tape over and over and over tight ends and running backs chipping him. And they said, well, now if he comes in, if Micah Parsons comes in and now Gary all of a sudden explodes, does that mean as much to us if he finally gets that 10-sack season because he's got Micah Parsons on the other side? Let's go, hold up. Why would he all of a sudden have success since he's been getting single blocked the whole time? You understand what I'm saying? It's funny how that comes full circle. But the point I was trying to make is forget Gary for a minute. We haven't even talked about Devontae Wyatt. Like, if they decide to put Parsons opposite of the 3 tech and they have to bend, they have to shade, they have to fan that protection to Parsons' side, watch Devontae Wyatt pop up with an 8 or a 9 sack season. That wouldn't surprise me at all. Obviously, he was in the 90 percentile in terms of pressure rate and true pass set there, according to PFF last year. And he led our interior defensive line, I should say, the defensive tackles in pressure rate as well. And I believe sacks as well, too. So, and I love, again, what he said about LVM with the running games is going to be huge. He can depend on him for a bull rush. What he's saying there, Tim, is obviously when we've talked about, and Emilio kind of alluded to it there, we've talked about how you've got to have those unselfish guys that can go in there and clean that pile. Carl Brooks is really good at it.
Yes.
Carl Brooks will come across, and I'm talking about try to crack a rib on a guy, right? 2 guys out and allow another guy to come free on the scrape and the loop and all that. It's exciting to hear him bragging on LVN because that's one way that you can utilize LVN to his strength, Tim, is the fact that he's got all that raw power.
Yeah, and the ability to kick inside, like we're saying. I think this all amounts to the fact that I don't think anyone in this Packers team is playing for themselves, let alone this D-line group. I think they're all focused on playing together, understanding what everyone's strength and weakness is and things that your teammates are working on. How do we win together? Like you said, it's not always about the bull rush. It's not always about me. It's how do we get home together as a unit? And sure seems like Micah is, I think, going to prove to be a leader in this room here before the end of this season. Even though he's the new face in town, I think he's going to fit in real well with guys like Rashawn Gary in that defensive line group. So I think it's a testament to what Coach Covington and Jeff Hafley have built there with the defensive front. I think nobody's out here for themselves. They want to make each other better and they want to play together. That's how you win Super Bowls, right?
Yeah. And Jacob, I think this is what you were referring to, right? Micah Parsons said, quote, "I've never been in a locker room with guys like this. I came in Tuesday for treatment. I saw almost every guy in the locker room. I said, this is the first time I've ever seen this. And that just shows how much these guys want to be here. They say it's because there ain't nothing else to do, but there's other things you could do. I think that's important. And when you're around guys like that, it makes it exciting to come to work." So you're seeing him. What do we always say about leadership? And I know this is a football podcast. This ain't a leadership seminar, but it's leaders. They absorb criticism and they redistribute praise. You know what I'm saying, Jacob? It's like anytime I get praised, okay, how can I take the light off me and shine it on someone else? He did it with LVN. He's talking about the 3 techs. He obviously had great things to say about Gary when he got here. And now he's talking about the locker room as a whole, man. It's just like Tim said, this is a perfect fit, Jacob. I'm really, really liking the way this is shaping up, man.
Yeah, it really is. And like you said, the redirection of the praise, but while doing it in a kind of, like I said, just a very confident, I don't want to say egotistical, because it's like Coach, or I think Doc said in the chat, he walks it like he talks it, to quote the young kids like to say nowadays. But he also went on to say that he's never not had a Pro Bowl or an all-pro cornerback in any of the years that he's been in the league. So he like made a little joke. He's like, I'm gonna make those guys a lot of money, you know, just basically saying he's going to play so good, have so much pressure that it's going to make their job a lot easier in the secondary. And again, trying to say like, hey, I'm going to help these guys out. The camaraderie, everything's there. He's funny dude, really great with the media. I think that we hit it out of the park with this one.
Yeah. Jen Wright says in the chat, Zach Tom said he's going to make the line so much better. Tim, we hit on that the other day, right? I think me, you, and Emilio, everybody, we were talking about that, how the fact that they've got to block Micah Parsons now is going to be absolutely huge in practice. You know what I mean? It's going to make them better.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And, you know, we talk about, too, you can't double everyone, right? So if you're looking for help there, it's going to make you a better player, because you're going to have to go one up against Micah out there in practice. Got to love it.
Yeah. Emilio, check this out right here, man. This is a video Ari Miroff put out. This came in via the Packer. We're getting some feedback, ain't we?
Yeah.
That is strange. It's the first time that's happened, isn't it? So this was Ari Miroff sent this out. I don't know what we did. Whatever we just did fixed it, I believe. But he tweeted this out from the Packers. The video came from the Packers. So, Tim, if you'll give me just any kind of screen grab here, the belt will be fine, Bob, just in case it AI picks it up. So Packers quarterback Jordan Love on Sunday's intro at Lambeau Field should go for Micah Parsons versus the Lions. I was thinking about this because they got to choose offense or defense, right, Emilio, like when they introduce the players. Check this out. Here's what Love had to say about it. And, again, leaders all over that locker room. This is absolutely awesome.
Did Lambeau announce the offense and then you last before the game, or the defense?
They gotta do defense. They gotta do defense. Micah last, you know what I mean? The crowd's gonna go crazy. I already see it. Defense go out there first, get a 3 and out, you know. Micah get a sack on 3rd down. I already see it.
I done told y'all that first sack gonna hit like crack. So we're still getting feedback. I don't know what's going on here. That's strange. But anyway, what's your all's take on that? Hopefully that'll clean itself up here.
I love it. I love the first of all, you can see that clearly here Jordan has kind of come out of his shell. I think he's more of a vocal leader. He's not afraid to call it like he sees it now. He's got a little bit more experience under his belt. You know, Jacob and I used to talk about aw shucks Matt LaFleur back in the day. You know, we kind of had aw shucks Jordan Love for a while. I think Jordan is really comfortable as a leader now, and he's going to be more vocal. And you love to hear this, right? Like, he is just as fired up as we are, if not more so, for Micah Parsons in this defense. And, you know, we've alluded to it. It takes a lot of pressure off of QB1 in that offense when you know you've got a monster defense out there down after down. And, you know, if you limit the mistakes, we should win ball games by several scores. I love it, man. 3 and out. Yeah. So in other words, we're deferring if we win the toss, right? Give those little kitty cats the ball first and let the defense just go out there and take it away. And we'll let Jay Money get in the offense go to work. I love it.
Yeah, I like what John Lello said in the chat, not to be confused with Lime Jello. Said Micah talks like a born Packer player, obviously, man. It's so true. He's going to fit right in. And I love the way that Love handled this. Jacob, this is absolutely awesome. Now they got to go defense. Micah last. Crowd's going to go crazy. Defense goes out there first, gets a 3 and out. Micah gets a sack on 3rd down. I already see it.
Yeah, it was cool too because they actually read that back to Micah live during his press conference, and Micah was like, okay, yeah, I can see it. He goes, I haven't really thought about it, but that'll do pretty nice right there. I like what Bungie Chedderbug says here. Says, I say strip sack into the pitch back to Micah on the return. He gone, give it the the Leroy memory. So kind of mimic the old Reggie White pitching it back to Leroy, jumping in the stands. That'd be kind of fun.
I love it.
Need to break out that audio, Emilio. I know you. Yeah, have you ever heard that song "Jump in the Stands," Emilio? Have you ever heard that?
Oh, it's
song?
A banger. It's a banger.
No, it's not. It is the cringiest thing you will ever hear. I'm telling you, we got to get it so Emilio can hear it, man. It is.
Oh, boy.
And it's funny too because I think if I understood correctly, it was Robert Brooks's idea to do that, right? And he asked for Leroy Butler's blessing to do it and to do that song and everything. I believe, if I remember correctly, I could be getting them mixed up. I think Robert Brooks actually has the rights to the Lambeau Leap. He bought it way back when, which is hilarious because Leroy Butler was the one who obviously invented it, but obviously Robert Brooks, he kind of took it and ran with it. So I thought this was awesome too, man. Something that CBS is doing. I don't know if they did it just for the playoffs last year. I think they did it briefly, but this is awesome. I don't know if you guys like College Game Day. I love College Game Day. I love when the pregame shows are on site. You know what I'm talking about, Emilio? Yeah. Like when they're in-house. So
you get the fans roaring in the background. You get everybody jumping around, signs, flags, everything.
Absolutely. So CBS is going to be doing – this is their game of the week, obviously, in the 4 o'clock slot with Tony Romo. And I don't know, Jim. So they're going to be there on site, which is awesome. So at 10 a.m., 9 a.m. Central Time, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, NFL Today is going to kick off live from Lambeau. Okay, so everything's going to be going on right there. They'll have everybody in-house. You'll have Coach Cowher there, the whole crew. What is that? Nate Burleson. You've got what's his name? Matty Ice. What's his last name? Why am I blanking on
Matt Ryan?
Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan. Yeah, Matt Ryan. He'll be there as well. So they're going to be set up. And if you see right here on this screen grab, it shows where the stage is going to be set up. They're going to be right in front of the Lombardi Lambeau statues. How cool is that going to be, Tim? You're going to be there, boots on the ground, right?
Yeah, I'm going to be joining some family up there for the pregame on Sunday. So this will be cool. You're right. It kind of has that College Game Day type of vibe there. Atrium, and you've got Curly and Vince statues there in the backdrop. It's always a popular spot pregame too, with the pro shop being right there, and it's just going to be a good. The vibes will be strong, definitely. Is that what the kids say? The aura. The aura is going to be off the charts.
What's this 6'7" stuff everybody's talking about? What is that? Yeah, y'all heard about that yet? Jacob, have you heard it? You hang with young whippersnappers, don't you?
No, I don't.
Okay,
no, I don't.
No. All right. So anyway, I think this is awesome, man, to give it that College Game Day feel. So anything else on Micah Parsons and all that before we move on, guys? You got anything else you want to hit on, Jacob? I know you've been listening to the pressers and everything. Anything else on Micah before we shift gears into the rest of the team?
We can talk about it, I'm sure, coming up, but just watching literally Jeff Hafley have to wipe the smile off of his face while talking about Micah, to the point where he's like, man, I can't stop smiling. I didn't want to, so I was hoping I could hold some of this in. And he's grinning like a schoolgirl, man. It's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
It's
gonna be
awesome in a dumpster.
All right, man. Jen Wright says 6 out of 7 wins for Detroit last game. Good question. All right, here we go. Wes Hockwitz. Let's go shift gears into practice here. Seems like everybody getting a little bit healthier. Everyone has a helmet and appears to be practicing for the Packers on Thursday. Cornerback Nate Hobbs with the knee, Elton Jenkins with the hip, and wide receiver Jaden Reed with the foot all returned. First Indy work for Hobbs since July 31st, it says here. So let's just kind of key in on some of these videos and get a couple of shots. You see Jaden Reed out there just catching a couple of balls. Is it just me, or does he look a little thicker this year, boy? He look like he put on some muscle to you guys?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
I feel like everybody's been hitting the gym. Colby came in a little bit thicker. Carl came in a little thicker, and that was one of the things Hafley was talking about. He said, he finally got used to being a little bit more well-stouted, I would say, and able to use that weight inside. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, we said the same thing about Edge Coop, right? He looks a little bit bigger. LVN looks like he's put on some muscle, right?
LVN's a monster, dude.
Yeah, maybe Tucker Kraft had all the boys hitting the weight room on the regular,
Could have been. Could have been. Next video here. Here you see Nate Hobbs. This looks a lot better to me, guys. Watch this cut right here. Yesterday he was kind of taking it real easy. That's a lot harder cut in there. You know what I mean? Emilio, you've had the knee injuries, right? What do you think here? What are you seeing with Nate Hobbs? Do you think there's a chance he goes? You know, last night I had convinced myself he doesn't play week 1. Do you think we're any closer? Or do you think we're probably still sitting out week 1?
I would still sit him out unless you. I mean, I feel like you don't need him. You have a long season ahead of you. If he's still coming back from it, from what we saw yesterday to today, this is great progress. From what I saw yesterday, I wouldn't want to put him out still on Sunday. Is kind of where I would be thinking. But yeah, I would say keep him out.
All right, J. Cole says Hobbs is out.
Short week, right? We got a short week, so maybe we see him Thursday.
Yeah. J. Cole says Hobbs is out. I don't know. There's not an official unless they already listed him as out. I don't know. They usually don't do that till Friday. I can't imagine they would have leaked that out, but maybe they did. J. Cole, if you would in the chat, let us know where you got that, man, because that's good information, buddy. Appreciate you. And then, of course, Elton Jenkins out there playing center. You see Jordan Love bullying him, right? And it just love to see Jordan taking snaps from under center. Now, listen, Matt LaFleur at his presser. Did you guys hear his presser about the taking or handing the ball off, taking snaps, all that good stuff? Did y'all happen to listen to that?
Yes,
a little bit concerning, right, Jacob? As he said, he was like, basically, they asked him point blank, you know, is that an issue with Jordan Love having a handoff with the opposite hand? But he said, yeah, it's an issue. Like, he didn't say, oh, no, it'd be fine for the game, or he didn't say, I'm not going to speak on that. He basically either he's frustrated and just let it show and showed his frustration, you know, or he playing a little game here like, oh, yeah, it's going to be a problem. Then all of a sudden Jordan come out and hand it off.
Well, dude, I swear there's something there because remember the way that I can't remember who asked the question, but the way they worded it said, so he hasn't tested his left hand. He said, no, not once, basically. And he goes, well, so no left-handed handoffs. Is that what that means? Or is he going to try doing it all with his other hand? And LaFleur says, got to do something. And he goes, you haven't had him do anything with his left hand? Are you pulling my leg? And Matt LaFleur was like, no, like still with a smirk on his face. So it was like, I swear there's something going on.
It was Spoon, I believe, wasn't it, Jacob? Was
I think it was Spoon. And he's like, are you pulling my leg? And there was just this awkward silence. Like, I swear there might be a little gamesmanship going on there.
Yeah, for sure. Jason Y in the chat said he was surprised with Matt LaFleur answered it truthfully. If he did, right, Jason, I'm with you. I think he did answer it truthfully, but at the same time, I'm going, well, what if Matt LaFleur playing a little game here? That's hilarious. That's the case. So there you go. We got some other footage here. We'll pop up from Rob Domofsky real quick. Go ahead and read that if y'all want to. I'll pull this up.
Judice thinks he says he was frustrated. The reporter asked like 3 times if Matt was pulling his leg, and Matt said no. That's what I said. It was kind of an awkward exchange for sure.
Definitely. Rob Domofsky says Jaden Reed with the foot, Nate Hobbs and knee return to practice. This is the first actual practice work for Hobbs since July 31st. Third straight practice for Micah Parsons. So 53 of the 53-man roster, Emilio, all 53 out there practicing in some fashion. That's great news.
Absolutely. Yeah, and right before the first game, I don't know if we could have asked for much more. I mean, you're going to have injuries. You're going to be going through stuff in the offseason, so I'm just glad everyone's out there. I think that you can get everybody, get a little bit of the that blend, get a feel for everyone being back, and get this team going.
Mm-hmm. And William Herman in the chat says Love is literally taking an under center snap in the clip Clayton showed. LOL. Nobody's saying he can't take a snap. We're talking about how he hands the ball off, is what Matt LaFleur was referring to, because he's been handing off with the opposite hand, which is less than ideal. And Bulaga did a great job talking about this on Wildy and Tausch today, talking about when you've got to reach a shade and you've got, you know, the quarterback's got to stay in there a little bit longer. All those things, you need those extra reps with your center. And the reality is Elton Jenkins missed the majority of the offseason, right? And then Love couldn't take snaps for a while because of the thumb injury. You've got to get that timing down. It's easy for us to watch the game on Sunday. You look up and you go, damn, man, you know, how do you drop that snap? How do they have – that's the easiest thing in the world to do. How do you know, it's a lot more difficult than us fans make it out to be. And hearing Bulaga talk about it was like, yeah, you got to know when you have to reach that shade, you're getting out quicker, and the quarterback's got to know I got to stay in there longer. And all that is determined pre-snap. Where's the line? Like, you know, like how far along is your line? What's the play call? Everything has to meld together. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have a few little mishaps from the center quarterback exchange, and I'm not going to panic over it because I don't think it's as slam dunk as most people see. But what do y'all think about that? Are you, Tim? I think you brought it up yesterday that you were a little concerned about that, right? With the center, was that you when we went around the horn? I can't remember who it was. I thought it was Tim. Maybe it wasn't. But
yeah, talking about the exchanges, they're like maybe seeing a little more shotgun or pistol as opposed to under center. Clearly, I don't think it's going to be a problem. Like Soder saying, feels like they'll be in gun most of the game. I mean, that could have absolutely nothing to do with Jordan Love's thumb and everything to do with the game plan. Like, we don't know that. But I'm pretty confident seeing what we just saw now that, if there was any issue that, he probably wouldn't be out there if it was that serious that we thought he'd be fumbling snaps or fumbling handoff exchanges or, ball security issues or anything. So seeing him get snaps under center, and I'm sure very soon here, we're going to see him handing off left and right-handed guitar fakes, RPR, RPO looks, the whole 9 yards. So I'm not overly concerned.
Yeah, Soder in the chat says feels like they'll be in the gun most of the game. I'm with you, Tim. I think you'll see a lot more gun than we want to see. And William Herman corrected me there. Says someone in the chat said it. My bad, William. I thought you were saying it toward us. Like, no, there ain't no problem. He's taking snaps. That's my fault, man. Yeah. So what about you boys, Emilio, Jacob? Are y'all concerned about the center snap exchange? You think just the fact that Elton's out there gives me a lot more peace, I believe.
I would say I'm worried about it. I'd just say that it's something that I want to pay attention to just because, if you don't have as many reps, obviously it's something that could be a little bit suspect. But I'm not worried about the center position more as I'm just worried about how Love's hand is going to perform. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. And for me, I would say that, with that exchange, Elton was the center for the Lions game last year, so that's not like he hasn't seen a little bit of a front. The front's different. If it's a thumb issue, I would say we would see Love go to pistol a lot out of gun. Like if we're in gun a bunch and then you're still worried about the thumb, but you need a different look, you need a stack look with the running back behind the quarterback. All right, we're going to pistol instead of right under center. We'll do a 3-4 yard little shotgun snap and be good to go. But that's kind of where I'd be leaning if his thumb's really the problem.
I feel like we're going to get our answer as soon as he smacks his hand on a helmet or somebody hits him or he bumps it or something happens.
I think someone was asking that, Tim, like, have you fallen down yet? Have you gotten bumped on it? Like, because I almost broke my wrist or fractured it or something when I was a kid. I got knocked down, go to catch yourself, putting your hand out, and bam, you flat-handed it, and now your wrist is done or something. And if he falls weird on that thumb, exactly.
Yeah, for sure. And the other thing too is, God forbid this happened, and it's happened before. When you've really got to jam that ball in the belly when you're handing it off. That thumb gets hooked on the jersey, and coming right off of surgery. My God, hell, you got a healthy thumb, and that happens, boy. You talk about painful. So just something to definitely keep our eye on there for sure.
I'm sure they've worked with Josh Jacobs and Emmanuel Wilson on the exchanges too, right? Like you got to think these running backs know what's going on with QB1, and they're going to do everything they can to make his job easier out there.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so you see Micah Parsons there running onto the practice field. And again, we've gotten several looks at Jaden Reed, and I know people are worried about the Jones fracture. And he's still, as Wildy pointed out, Wildy was the one that reported on that Jones fracture, and still Jaden Reed has not denied that. So he said, if I understood correctly, he told Wildy and the reporters that it's a pain tolerance thing is what it is. So as long as, I don't know if they'll shoot that thing up or what, but as long as it's bothering him, that's why he's taking days off, is to kind of, manage the pain aspect and then give yourself as much of a chance on game day as possible for sure. So,
what an absolute beast, right? I mean, he's basically playing with a broken foot. You have a broken piece of your foot, and he's out here playing through it. You got to love it.
Yeah, and if you're trying to look at the silver lining of that, maybe you're saying, hey, the right side of, the bone on his foot is a little bit less pressure than where he needs the ball of his feet to be. So, like, if he's running on his toes, being able to plant, pivot, cut, at least it's not like a turf toe or you popped your big toe out of anything like that. I feel like if it's a pain tolerance thing on the, the center of your foot, you're able to avoid some of that pressure and pain. Then you're in decent shape for where it is right now.
I think your only concern with this is like we had with Jordan last year, right? Where you're compensating because you're playing hurt, you're playing banged up. Is this going to cause something else potentially? Much like we saw with Jordan went from the knee to the groin issues. But looking at Bird, man, he looks like he's in the best shape of his life. So if anyone can play through it, I think he can. I
agree. I like what DJ says here, Jacob. You know, we always talk about Matt LaFleur's teams have historically got off to a bad start. This is the first time the Packers have been at home in week 1. Probably has something to do with it, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can even go back to last year. There was so much hype surrounding, being in Brazil and all that. And lo and behold, the turf is just a slop fest kind of, can't really blame either side for that. I should say the NFL really should be the one that would take the brunt of that blame. But, years prior, they didn't have the opportunity to start the year hot, coming into a friendly environment, getting jacked up from the home crowd. I would say the biggest criticism that I personally have of Matt LaFleur's career is that it seems like in road games, we kind of come out flat, and there hasn't been a lot of enthusiasm to start off games. That it seems like it either, whether it's the game or the early half of the season, that it seems like that it takes us 2 or 3, 4 quarters sometimes before all of a sudden it clicks and we decide, hey, we can play big boy football. And it's going to be really, really cool this year. Much like we just heard Jordan Love kind of painting a picture of what he envisions coming out, having the defense getting announced first, having those fireworks go off, Micah Parsons, the crowd just screaming, carrying that momentum into that first kickoff and into the first few series, I think is going to be a massive. And I've heard it. I said it a couple of days ago, and I heard Matt LaFleur and Jordan and I think Coach Half all say that we need to come out fast and strong and have a good, strong, fast start and really kind of come out swinging full punches, man, full uppercuts, full haymakers, all gas, no break. All right.
Yeah, our guys better wake up with their piss hot, like I said before. So
that's right.
So when you look at this Micah Parsons tape here, Emilio, what do you think, man? Is there anything to worry about with the back? To me, he looks good to go, man. You're not doing that stuff if you're, you know what I mean? You're not.
I'm not doing that daily, Clay. I'm not trying to twist like that. If you twist sometimes weird with the backpack blower on your back.
What do you mean? That's you throwing mulch, man. You throw mulch like that, right?
I actually do. That's true, Tim. I probably do throw mulch like that. But
Emilio, listen. Today, perfect example. Go to put gas in the backpack blower. It's on the pavement, right? All the way down, and you know how those things get worn. You can't see how much gas is in them, right? So I'm literally leaning down almost to ground level, trying to see how much do I got in there. I got enough to get through these 3 yards, And sure enough, right in the trap, there it pulled. I was like, "You serious?" They're
locked up. Oh yeah.
They're out here throwing, what is that, 30-pound medicine ball, 50-pound medicine ball, whatever it is.
Yep. No problem.
So sucks getting old. I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's the first thing I thought of was me this morning at 9:30 in the morning going, oh God, there it is.
I mean, the dude can keep himself in shape, flexibility wise, strength wise, and everything. It's just the game shape that I'm worried about. I'm not worried. Did you not see him in those pressers? I mean, he's got like a T-bone steak from his earlobe to his shoulder blade. It's just like Rashawn. He's got like his traps are crazy. So I'm not worried about that physical shape. It's just a little bit of stamina and your endurance. Where is that going to be once you're out there 6-10 second plays?
Yeah. Yep. So the injury report, obviously we got one more day and then we'll get the game status, put on the sheet here. But Zane Anderson was limited both days. Nate Hobbs did not participate Wednesday. He was limited today. Elton Jenkins was limited both days. Jordan Love, full participation both days. Micah Parsons limited both days. Jaden Reed did not participate Wednesday and then was limited today. Baron Sorrell limited both days. That's exciting. Dontavion Wicks with the calf muscle limited both days. And then Savion Williams limited both days. So out of that list, the one I'm most intrigued by is Savion Williams. Tim, Jacob, what do you think, man? You think we're going to get – how many snaps do you think Savion's going to get on Sunday? We'll start with you, Jacob. What do you think? What's your guess there, man?
5 to 10 tops.
Keep it short, right?
Yeah, I think so. Just maybe get him out there, get a little experience, test that hammy. Maybe even try using him on a couple of gadgety type plays, maybe as either a decoy on a jet sweep or something like that.
Yeah. What do you think, Tim?
I would. My gut reaction is right there with Jacob. Like 5 to 10 snaps. The only outlier is, we talk about Tay Wicks with the calf and Bird with the Jones fracture, right? So, you never know once you get into the heat of a battle. We may need to call on Savion Williams more often than we wanted to going into the game.
That's true.
If he proves to be, super healthy and the hammy's not an issue. So But either way, man, you look at this updates on the injury report, man, this is great. Nobody missed today. Everyone was either limited or a full go. So that's a good sign.
Yeah, nothing really changed for the Detroit Lions injury report. It looks well. I mean, Owazika, however you say his name, the guard with the shoulder injury, went from limited to full participation. Other than that, everybody's pretty much the same. And keep in mind that, like we had mentioned, there's several people that are on the IR that this looks like, wow, they're really healthy when they're really banged up at the defensive tackle position. I want to keep putting emphasis on that because it's very, very important for sure. So anything else on the injury report you guys may have heard or anything you want to add to this injury report here?
I guess I'm just curious. I don't know if we've covered it. When the official depth chart came out, am I crazy or did they still have Jaden Reed as our punt returner?
I don't think do we have an official depth chart?
They released the official, unofficial depth chart. Jacob, listen, man, to be honest,
the official, unofficial depth chart.
I laugh my ass off at that every year because when Matt LaFleur's ever asked about it, he goes, nobody consulted with me.
Right.
And it's not that they didn't go to him and say, hey, coach, will you give us the depth chart? He just always goes, no. Every coach does it. There's no coach that sits down and goes, here's our depth chart. So now that doesn't mean Jaden Reed won't be the punt returner. I think what will probably happen, Jacob, and I want to get your take on it. I think that they'll activate McCole Hardman to be the punt returner because I don't think if Nate Hobbs, it's going to come down to 2 or 3 different moving parts. If Nate Hobbs doesn't play week 1, right, then you don't want Keyshawn doing many returns. You might get him in a situational aspect. The game's close. We need a spark. Let's throw him out there. But you don't want to risk getting him hurt on punt return or kick return, obviously, with him being your number 1 corner with Nate Hobbs being out. If that's the case, if Nate Hobbs is out, I personally think McCole Hardman will be activated to be the punt returner because you got the same thing you're dealing with Jaden Reed and that foot injury, because I'm not a big fan of Jaden Reed returning punts. I don't know how you guys feel. I don't think he's good at it. I think I would rather him just focus on being our slot, our F receiver, and just move it along. But, that's how I see it. I think it's going to come down to if Nate Hobbs isn't active, then you probably elevate McCole Hardman for one of those 3 elevations from the practice squad and let him do punt return. What do you guys think?
I would activate Will Shepherd, baby. Will Shepherd. return GOAT right there. Let's go.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jacob. What were you going to say, man?
I completely agree with your sentiment. I don't want Jaden Reed back there. 1, for the injury. 2, it just doesn't seem like a great fit. 3, it just unnecessary hits to a guy that we want in that lineup for as long as possible. I agree as well with the thoughts on if Keyshawn Nixon is going to be slotted into playing a really predominant role at corner or slot, whatever the case may be. I don't want to put him risk it back there. So to me, like Chuck Jagger says, Bo Meltob. I think he meant Melton because I would agree. Bo Melton to me would be a sneaky kind of safe pick to throw back there who does give you a little chance at maybe a little shake, a little shimmy, maybe getting you 10, 15 yards. I would be all right with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah. I wouldn't. I mean, with his foot, I don't mind Jaden Reed back there. He had a couple mishaps this past year, right? But with his foot, I'd rather not have him back there. I like McCole. I bring up McCole Hardman. That's not a problem with me. And yeah, you kind of probably want to try to avoid getting Keyshawn hit. But I also don't think I wouldn't be surprised if they threw Matt Golden back there just for a little bit, just for 1 or 2, just to get the ball in his hands. Because I mean, my take on Savion was 10, probably 15 snaps. 1 to 2 snaps made for him to touch the ball, kind of thing. Like you got to get him out there, run some routes, run on the air, get defense, go out there and block. But you get, let's get him 1 touch. Let's try to get him 1 play design to get the balls in his hand.
Boys, the pregame festivities just kicked off here. They're in the booth, and we got none other than Chris Collinsworth in there saying, "Here's the guy." I'm telling you, it's football season, boys. It is football season. So that's going to do it for hour 1. For those of you listening on the pod, we'll see you on the other side for hour 2, where we're going to talk a little Matthew Golden and then give a little more Packers-Lions preview. And we'll see you over there. Appreciate you.
For those of you listening on the pod,
welcome into hour 2. So Matthew Golden, boys, everybody talking about him. I know we talked about him a lot during camp, and I'm really excited to see if it carries over from rookie OTAs to OTA or rookie minicamp to OTAs to training camp to preseason and now to the regular season. Matt Schneidman put a tweet out. The early reviews on Matthew Golden, Xavier McKinney said, poop. he a hell of a player. All right, we cleaned that up a little bit in case you were wondering. Then Jaden Reed said he's going to be very dominant on Golden's promise ahead of Sunday's big opener and more things I'm seeing around the Packers. So Schneidman put an article out on that over at NewYorkTimes.com. So check that out. Have we heard anybody, and not just the Packers, just anyone across the league? I'm genuinely asking for someone to find something negative about Matthew Golden from this offseason leading up to where we're at this point. Emilio, do you remember anybody, because Rob Domofsky was talking yesterday and he was like, I don't think I've seen him drop one pass in camp, not one. And believe me, anybody who knows Rob Domofsky, he would let you know if somebody dropped a pass. He's chomping at the bit. You know what I mean? Because he's not a Packer fan. I don't think he's a hater, but he's one of these reporters that will tell you they're looking for something to kind of, you know what I mean, find a little crack in the arm. I don't know, Emilio, do you remember anybody saying anything negative about Matthew Golden? If you had to point a negative out, what do you think his negative is?
I'm not going to, so quit asking.
There you go.
I don't think we have. Right now, I just need to see him play in a live game speed, because what I saw in the 7 snaps that he did in in the preseason, one with a quick slant. All right, perfect. If I can run my RPO game with you in college football, you're my man, Matt Golden. And then you can go out and get a streak, and catch a back shoulder ball, and you're set. That's right now. I've seen 2 good things, and I haven't really seen a bad thing in game speed. That's what I'm looking to, try to put some notches on the belt there.
Mm-hmm. And let's be honest, like, receivers drop passes. It happens, right?
Yeah.
It's part of football. I can't wait to hear everybody complaining like the minute he has one drop or something, like it's the end of the world or something. But yeah, I'm with you, Clay. I don't think there's anything that causes concern, right? Nothing really negative. You're looking at a guy that, we always say high ceiling or no ceiling, right? Sky is the limit for Matt Golden, especially in this offense, in a Matt LaFleur offense with Jordan Love at the helm. Mm-hmm. Matt Golden's going to eat your offensive rookie of the year for sure.
Yeah, and I don't think he's going to have like this all-world season. I'm not expecting him to go out and have 1,200 yards receiving. I'm not expecting that. What I do think, though, there's going to be ups and downs for every rookie. There always is. I think there's going to be times that he runs the wrong route on a choice route. That's going to happen. That's going to come with time, getting on the same page with Jordan and knowing exactly what Coach LaFleur and Stenovich want. But at the same time, man, I'm not going to be surprised if he goes out there and has 800-900 yards receiving and 7 or 8 touchdowns. Like I could see that happening, and then maybe you'll see that flow slow down a little bit as Christian Watson comes back on the scene. Which we haven't even talked about that, Jacob. Christian's probably going to be out there weeks somewhere between week 6 and week 9, I would imagine. So when he gets back on the field and everybody's getting healthy, you just want to make sure you get to that point, maybe a little above 500 at a minimum, right? Let's say he comes back and you're 5 games into the season. I'm cool with a 3-2 record. Christian's back. Everybody's getting healthy. You're getting your feet under you. Awesome. I'd love for him to be 5-0, but we know how the season goes, and that's just the way it is. But I don't know. What do you think about Matthew Golden and like I said, Christian Watson returning, Jake?
Yeah, I've actually got a lot more hope for Matthew to crack 1,000 in his rookie year. It just to me seems like he's going to be the most consistent guy out there for the most amount of time this season. He just seems like he splashed on the scene. Like you said, he's done everything that we've asked him to, from the time of the draft to OTAs to mini camp to preseason, now into the regular season. I feel like that no moment is too big for him. I think Love is starting to put a lot of trust in him, and obviously with Christian being gone, with Reed being a little knocked up, with a little issue with Wicks himself. There you go. All good saying, expecting 1,200. I don't know if I would go that far, but I think cracking $1,000 isn't going to be too hard for him. And when Christian comes back, there is going to be, I don't think, a more dangerous and lethal deep threat / speed demon duo that's in the league. That's just going to be something incredible to watch them take the top off of defense. And then we've got a lot of guys that hopefully will be coming on their own as well. I look for Tuck Norris to take advantage of that. Guys like Reed and Dobbs to kind of maybe do a little more crossers and stuff underneath. It's going to be like we say on defense, pick your poison. Who are you going to guard? Who are you going to key in on? Because that means that you're going to have somebody running free, and it's just going to be a beautiful thing to watch.
Yeah, all good in the chat says, I'm expecting 1,200 guys a stud. Man, I hope you're right. All good. I hope you're right. That would be absolutely awesome. Bungie Cheddarbug says, there are too many weapons on this offense for him to get enough touches to hit 1,200. That's the big issue I have with the inflated numbers. It's like, we know how this Matt LaFleur offense works. It's not going through one person. But what it says, though, if all good is correct and he is 1,200, Matthew Golden is so damn good that you can't afford to go away from him. You know what I mean? Because there is a little bit of that factor, too. They will bend the system if you look up and this dude's like, holy cow, this guy's elite. This might be a generational talent. If you start to see flashes of that in the first 2 or 3 weeks, what you'll start to do is it won't become, oh, we got to move the ball around, guys. It'll be, all right, let's make sure that Matthew Golden, if he can handle this, if he can handle the choice routes from different positions, X, Z, F, all that stuff, then wherever the primary receiver is for each specific play call, they'll put him in that spot. The problem is the other guys have to be able to handle those other positions as well. I'm sure Coach Lynn can attest to that. Like, it's not as easy as let's just put this guy wherever the true number, the number one progression is on this specific, play, this specific read, because the other guys have got to know those spots too. And we haven't seen Jaden Reed line up a lot of X or Z. We haven't seen Romeo Dobbs play the slot much. It's like everybody's kind of got their role, so I don't think they'll do a lot of moving around. Does that make sense?
His receiving is tough.
Yeah, right now we're asking the guys to do what they're real good at and keep doing that. All right, we can branch out as we go, but it's same thing with Hafley, same thing with Matt. You're not pouring out the entire. I mean, I know Jacob's got his Santa bag, right? You got all your tricks in the bag. You're not dumping that thing out on the first game. I mean, Matt's going to sprinkle some in here and there. And then, all right, let's get him open with some basic concept. Let's get, double slants. Let's get a dagger. Let's get a smash. You got options to get to without going crazy into the bag.
Yeah, definitely. William Herman says Golden will get the targets. He's too good not to.
Or he'll just get himself open in the meantime. Like even if the targets aren't directed to him, if the dude's getting open, the ball will come his way. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, definitely. And Greg Rice has a great point here, Tim. He says Golden will obviously get 65,665 yards.
65%.
65%. That's what we. Yeah, I love what Coach Stenovich said here. Rod Mimoski tweeted out, Packers offensive coordinator Adam Stenovich on rookie wide receiver Matthew Golden, quote, he's impressed everybody in the building. You don't really know until you get out there in a game and watch him play, but it's going to be fun. What he's put on film in practice has been excellent. So, again, usually coaches will come. I mean, we remember last year, Jacob, you remember when Edgerrin Cooper was just looking like a stud. The coaches kept trying to temper expectations. Nobody's doing that with Golden. It's kind of strange, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's what's made me kind of pucker up a little bit and realize that my preconceived notions of what happens, especially with Green Bay receivers and especially with rookies, it seems that usually we don't trust them enough to put them out there. Even if they're decently performing, like we saw with Edge, it took him almost half the season before we were willing to put him out and kind of let the reins go. It is a different beast, it feels like. It seems like they see the flashes of greatness in this kid and want him out there as long and as often and early as possible, and I'm all here for it, man.
Emilio, you notice here in the chat, we got somebody named Mandy in the chat that says, and that yo-yo.
Come on now. Hit him with the yo-yo, Mandy. You know that. Telling you. That would get Matt Golden open, no problem. MG would be open immediately on a yo-yo.
Tim, the level of trolling that Mandy and Jordan had on us at that Titans game, man. There was about to be some domestic violence right there in the stands. I'm just telling you, man.
You do that, you're going to get your ass kicked in that.
Right. Mandy punches like a guy. I ain't gonna lie, man. She got a mean jab. She got a real mean jab. So.
How about these hands?
Got to be honest, man. Mandy had a pinky like that. Probably looking for the divorce papers. I don't know if I could eat dinner staring across looking at that.
What do you mean? My germs.
Oh my God. Just want to give it one quick kiss. Throw that in there and bang, spice it up. We won't talk about what he did with the turkeys.
Grab hold of my good hand.
Anything else on Matthew Golden, guys? Anything at all?
Oh, no.
The chosen one. That's all.
That's it. The chosen. Put it up there one more time. There you go. I love that too. I don't know why it gives me Karate Kid vibes or something. I don't know why. But doesn't that look like the old Karate Kid art? The box art. Remember how they had like the – yeah.
It looks like Catan, that board game. That's kind of what it looks like.
So it actually is an 80s movie, The Golden Child, Eddie Murphy. Shout out to Eddie Murphy, one of the GOATs. Make sure you check that out.
Unbelievable. All right, let's move along. Talk a little Packers lines before we get ready to wrap this train wreck up here, okay? One of the cool things, Aaron Rodgers, our Aaron Rodgers, not the Aaron Rodgers, tweeted this out. What, Emilio? What do you got? Let's hear it.
Jalen Carter already got disqualified for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Oh, we're going to give him.
Did he really? Perfect job.
Oh, he spit on him.
Hey, listen, things happen out there, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, yeah, he hawked a loogie on that man.
Yeah.
Do that, you're going to get your ass kicked in that.
Oh,
Dak Prescott's
hawked a loogie on Dak.
That might be the coolest official I've ever seen with those sunglasses. Look at those sunglasses on there.
Oh, yeah, that's official. Those are the transition lenses, you know.
First of all, the coolest official we've ever seen is Brandon McManus, okay? Let's be real.
He looks like Slim Shady.
They've got like multiple angles of this loogie. This is awesome.
This is loogie gate.
We're so back. We're so back. We got Jalen Carter hawking loogies on Cowboys. Let's go.
Look at him. Look at him. Oh, man, come on now. I didn't mean to, Coach.
He did. He looked over at the official. Dak was at the official and goes, why you gotta be like that?
6 seconds into the game.
So listen. Go ahead, Jake. I'm sorry.
No, in the first 6 seconds, we already had a penalty, an ejection, a spit take, and the poor guy from Philly went down with, it looks like a non-contact, or I shouldn't say non-contact, but it looked like he knew his knee popped out. Yep, there he is getting carted off. Darn.
So he got ejected, huh? That's what
Yeah, he'll get ejected this game and next, right? It's this one and one game after, or no? Is it just for the game?
Well, we used to hawk loogies on the playground. We all got kicked out of those. It got bad back in the day. Lord have mercy. But anyway, speaking of bad and dirty players, how about this matchup right here? Kirby Joseph, all right, on one side of the field, and then of course we got Xavier McKinney on the other. And Aaron just pointing these stats out, people making it sound like Kirby Joseph is so much better than Xavier McKinney. I'm gonna try to rattle them off real quick, okay? Head to head, the Lions obviously with Kirby Joseph. With McKinney on the Packers and Joseph on the Lions, the Lions have won both those games. You got to tip your cap, right? They both played in 17 games. All right. What's the AV? Help me out here, guys. What am I missing there? What's the
average
AV?
value?
I don't know. Doesn't matter. All right. Interceptions. Kirby Joseph 9. Xavier McKinney 8. I think that's interception yards. I believe it might be, or maybe is that yards allowed? Do you think?
Oh, I think it's yards.
Yards allowed.
It makes sense, right? X has got 128. You think all those picks he had a couple of returns, right?
Got you. It's international. Okay, got you. And of course, interception, touchdown. Run for a touch, return for a touchdown. Kirby Joseph has 1. X doesn't have any. And then sacks, though. Xavier McKinney had a sack. Kirby Joseph had 0. Solo tackles. Xavier McKinney 60. Kirby Joseph 58. Fumble recoveries. Xavier McKinney 1. Kirby Joseph 0. Ball King wouldn't like Kirby Joseph, I don't think. Boy, I'm saying he out there doing his part. So Pro Bowls, Xavier McKinney 1. It's not showing one for Kirby Joseph, but they both do have an All-Pro award there. So really interesting, man, because, again, these are two of, if not the best safeties in the entire league. I think Kyle Hamilton would have something to say about that over in Baltimore. But man, this is going to be a lot of fun to see these guys go out there and crack heads. What do y'all think about this? Having 2 of the best safeties on the field come Sunday.
It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle. You're going to have to know where they are each play. Jordan's going to have to know where Joseph is, and same for Goff and X. You want to probably try to work away from them, figure out your matchup. But I just love when Halfley was talking about X and just how he's becoming that kind of leader. Now that he's got a year under his belt, he's able to kind of, control the locker room, control that secondary room. Keyshawn's been there, but he's probably the leader of the DB room in general, skill wise and sort of like, bringing the community together of the DBs. And it's just, Halfley was saying that X is asking for the game plan before it's even finished every week. He said, that's how I know it was football season, because he was coming into his office before practice, before everything, like Halfley's probably getting there, just having his, biscuits and gravy, and just having a nice coffee, and bam, X is banging on the door. Come on now, coach. What's the game plan? This is happening Monday morning.
Halfley gave him the game plan right away. He said,
"Get over here,
built to ass, BTA." Know what I'm saying?
That's my favorite drop, man. That is so good.
I like what Jen Wright says in the comments here. X wins in this matchup. He's not a dirty player, and
yes.
I agree. And I think to Emilio's point too, he's more of a leader, I think, than Kirby Joseph probably is in Detroit, right? So also Joseph's a younger player than X as well. So I think X leads with experience, and then like you said, Clay, this is year 2 here in Green Bay. This is his back end of that defense for sure, and I can't wait to see him out there on Sunday. It's going to be great.
Yeah, and Dak taking the Cowboys right down the field. They just got a pass interference in the end zone, so they're about to score on the Philadelphia Eagles if they can punch it in here. It's still 0-0, 11:52 left in the first quarter. Are we all on the same page, or is someone pulling for the Eagles? I'm personally pulling for the Cowboys to upset the Eagles. Right. How do you guys feel about it?
The boys.
Go Cowboys! Yeehaw!
Give them that yeehaw, Tim. I know you
over there. Mama, don't let your babies grow up.
Hey, they scored. That's my fantasy guy too. Yeah.
I see. This is where we need the here we go.
Yeah.
All right. So here's something else too. Matched up against Brian Branch. All right. Very similar. 16 games to 17 games there. However, McKinney 8 interceptions. Branch only 4. All right. And 48 interception yards with McKinney having 128. They both each have a sack. Solo tackles, Branch was higher. Obviously, no surprise there. We talked about him coming out of college being a great tackler. He had 79 solo tackles. Xavier McKinney had 60. He had 1 forced fumble. McKinney had 0. And then, of course, he didn't have any fumble recoveries, but McKinney had that once. So both of them have a Pro Bowl. Brian Branch does not have an All-Pro yet. So that's going to be – when you talk about Tuesday players and playing the lines and game planning, right? I think both safeties would damn near qualify as a Tuesday player. Aiden Hutchinson's definitely a Tuesday player. You got to make sure he doesn't wreck the game plan the same way the Lions got to make sure Parsons doesn't wreck the game plan, right? And then on offense, of course, Amon-Ra St. Brown, you can't overlook that guy, So I don't know. What do you guys think about Brian Branch? Are we overly concerned there? That's more of your box safety playing a little slot from time to time as well.
Speaking of dirty players.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Did I say that out loud? My bad.
Tim said all the Detroit Lions are dirty players.
Yeah, I like Brian Branch coming out of college, and I think that he another one that kind of slid in the draft because people thought he wasn't quite as athletic as he needed to be. But I personally be pumped to have him on my team, but I still think that we have a better safety room, honestly, top to bottom. I don't know if you heard Emilio too, Halfley talking about how good, just like you said, X as a leader he's been, and also how he's like kind of pulled up the younger guys like Evan and Bullard, and how he's just instilled like football first, just having that kind of leadership mentality of like being business first, understanding how to get better each day and day out. And he talked specifically about how Bullard has stepped up and how, that's when you guys know that I'm pulling for. He said he's fit to have an unbelievable sophomore season.
Yeah. So like if we're looking at it as Kenny and the D-line group, like Kenny dug the trench, got the rebar in, poured the concrete, squared it all off. He already started getting the wood framing going up. X probably dug the trench, and he was, last year dug the trench, got it all squared off, got the rebar in the ground. He hasn't poured the concrete yet, but he's bringing those kids in. He's bringing in Home Depot. He's bringing in Evan, Bullard, and remember, they're still young dudes. It's not like they've had 1 year, right? So it's and the way he was talking about how Bull is kind of like X. He wants to know what's going on. He's super FBI smart. He said he's probably one of the toughest guys in that secondary. Bull is, and he can do a lot for him, being safety and corner. So I really do think that DB room is going to be leaned on heavily, and being that you can take a little bit off their plate with the moves that we made it, on the front seven.
Yeah. Drudy in the chat says we have to root for the Cowboys or root for Kenny. Is he playing? Did you say he's wearing 95?
Number 95, Drew, 95.
I agree, man. I love Kenny, dude. Kenny's a great dude, no doubt. All right, another matchup here, right? Not really a matchup, but just comparing players. What?
Is that Sunshine?
What's her name?
Sunshine?
Alex Anzalone. So obviously, Yeah, this is him against Edgerrin Cooper, right? So it looks like, 10 games to 14 games. And then you've got interceptions. Edgerrin Cooper wins that one 1-0 with 22 interception yards. 3.5 sacks for Cooper, only 1 for Anzalone. And then 57 solo tackles for Edgerrin Cooper, only 43 for Anzalone. 1 forced fumble for Edgerrin Cooper. 2 fumble recoveries for Edgerrin Cooper. A couple goose eggs there for Anzalone. Everybody talks about Anzalone being this great football player. Boy, if he is, Edgerrin Cooper is on his way to be one of the best in the entire league. Tim, what do you think about that little comparison there? I think we get the better stack backer in that matchup.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Obviously the numbers look a little different because Coop had more games, but it's also because Coop's a better linebacker, right? Let's be real. And I'm kind of in the middle with Anzalone. I don't think you kiss his ass too much and put him up on a pedestal, right? But he's also not a pushover when it comes to linebackers. So not someone you want to take for granted, but clearly Edge Cooper is definitely going to win this head-to-head stat matchup for sure, and I think for many years to come.
Mm-hmm. Jacob, anything you want to add to that before we move along here?
I've never really liked Anzalone. I don't understand all the kind of hype around him, but like you said, if he's supposed to be this great linebacker, then don't worry. I was gonna Brambo 09 says, remember when Fabio got hit in the face by a bird on a roller coaster? Maybe a bird will hit Anzalone in the face. That is one of the funniest videos if you ever want to look up the internet. Fabio's just enjoying a nice roller coaster, and then a bird explodes on him. Like the seagull just explodes all over him, and he's like, oh. So,
Kenny with the tackle there on was a second and short, but run up the middle, gain of only 2 or 3. Kenny getting off the block. Love it, man.
Yeah.
Here you go, Jacob. Let's bring back memories here. Look at that.
That's
right
it. Yeah. How'd you do that so fast?
That's not his blood either. Look at the lady's face in the back. She got splattered all over too. Absolutely. Oh my God. Blood everywhere. Unbelievable. We'll keep that for a little bit. So all right, let's move this along. Again, just a couple key matchups there, or comparisons, I should say, at similar positions from our buddy Aaron Rodgers. Appreciate you sending it over, man, in the DM. Professor Case, Randy Johnson was impressed with how that bird exploded, man. If you guys have never seen the video of Randy Johnson annihilating that bird with a fastball, you ever seen that? Emilio, we showed you that one night, didn't we? Yep. Yeah. Unbelievable.
We got off track one night after the show. Yeah, absolutely.
We did.
Don't worry, nobody's listening anyway.
Doesn't sound like us at all. So, all right, let's go around the horn. Anything else you guys want to hit on in this preview? We got a few minutes here to kill as the Cowboys are leading the Eagles 7-0. 9:55 left in the first. Saquon Barkley running wild right now as they're now well around the 30-yard line. So they're moving the rock. Let's go around the horn one time here. Packers, Lions. What's on your mind? I don't care who goes first.
Hope they got extra luggage for the plane trip back to Detroit, carrying that gigantic L that they're going to take home.
Tim has been talking trash all week long. Man, he's
had all summer to build this thing up, ready to go.
He said, "That's my job, man."
Yeah. I thought one of the funniest thing was if you watch the Halfley press conference, whatever, while he's kind of in the middle of smiling and grinning about Micah, somebody asked him, "What are the ways you can use Micah?" And he just with a stone face goes, "I'm not telling you." Yeah. The whole room just laughed, but it's like it just is so exciting. You can see how much that guy loves football and how much he can tell that he's got an absolute ace stud that wants to learn and absorb it like a freaking sponge. And you can literally watch the inner child, the giddiness coming out of him. He's trying to contain it as a grown man at a podium, trying not to show his cards, and he literally can't contain himself. That is just going to be something so exciting to watch, the progression of how between the two of them, they kind of develop this defense going in the next couple weeks, months, and for the next couple of years, hopefully, if we can get Halfley to stick around. But that is going to be one of the funnest developments on the defensive side of the ball that I don't think I can remember, honestly, since I was 5 years old and we had Reggie. I mean, I have never experienced any kind of hype like this. It's going to be insane.
Yeah.
I have never experienced this kind of hype, Jacob. So I was not alive when Reggie swung over. So. But it's it really is crazy to think that we're 2 days away here from seeing what's going to go down Sunday morning. and then just getting some Packers football. I really cannot wait. This defense is going to be crazy, even without Mike. I just want to see everything that we had been building in the offseason, talking about in the offseason about this defense, about the offense. That all still stands on what I want to see. It's just, all right, we added a superstar. You added your 98, 99 on Madden, the X Factor, whatever. But we still have an offense with Jordan Love, who is, a dog. Tim's right. He only throws dimes. That's why he's 10. So let's see what that can do. Let's see what, Tucker's going to be on year 3. Let's see, how the other wide receivers come back, how our 2 new wide receivers go. There's so much more than just that first defense, but I really am excited to see it all come together.
Yeah, definitely. So going over to NFL Pro here and taking a look at some of the numbers. Obviously, the Packers are 2.5-point favorites as it sits right now. The over-under is set at 47.5 points. Going to be really, really interesting. When you look at what happened last year, right? The Lions finished first in points per game at 33.2 points per game. The Packers finished 8th at 27.1 points per game. Now, a lot of things have changed, obviously, here in the offseason as you've got the big coaching change there, the coaching shift, the shakeup with Ben Johnson going over to Chicago. Do you think that Detroit is poised, Tim? Do you think Detroit will finish first in scoring again this year? Do you think they're going to take a dip? And if they do take a dip, what do you think is a realistic number? How far do you think they'll dip in terms of points per game? I would think
slightly, right? I mean, it's tough to say, right? Because this is going to be their first look with a new OC, right? It's tough to say. I don't think if they do take a step back, it wouldn't surprise me, but I don't think it would be by much, So I don't know. I can't really quantify it, but I think there's some logic to it. Anytime you bring in a new coordinator and change your approach offensively, they've got some different personnel and some familiar faces there too. So I could see him taking a step back, but I don't think super significantly, I guess.
It looked like the Cowboys were playing man coverage inside the 5. That's a glorious play call. And, of course, Jalen Hurts just runs it right in. So, Could have been a zone match, but nonetheless, you literally had 3 defenders just watching Jalen Hurts run the ball in the end. So gotta love it. So it's like it's gonna be tied up to 7-7 here. Point differential last year, the Detroit Lions finished first at plus 222. The Packers were 5th at plus 122. That's a big difference there, boys. Talking about 100, right? I mean, that's pretty wild to think about there. Now, records in close games, the Packers were 5-5 in close games. The Lions were 7-2, so they definitely have more success in those closer games. Average margin of victory, the Lions were 4th at 15.5 points. The Packers were 9th at 13.3 points average margin of victory. Turnover differential, the Packers were actually 3rd in the league with a plus 12, and the Lions were 7th at plus 9. And in terms of penalties, the Packers were 21st in the league with 112, and the Lions finished 12th with 107. The big thing that sticks out to me there, their turnover differential, the Packers' turnover differential should have been better last year, given how many times their defense forced turnovers. And, of course, we were just kind of careless with the football, both throwing interceptions and fumbling the ball. If we clean that up a touch and we clean up those penalties, I know Emilio's going to be happy to hear about that. If you can clean both of those 2 statistics up, man, oh, man. I think the sky's the limit for this team.
Yeah, you keep it under 100 penalties for the year, I think we're in good shape. I mean, I'm only asking for 12 less. So you're looking at the Lions that they're at 107 being 12. I would assume, you're probably in the top 10 at 100. So I would be completely fine with that. It's just the little things. It's when you're exhausted in the 3rd, at the end of the 3rd, going to the 4th, and you've flinched on a 3rd and 1. Like it's not only just the 5-yard penalty, but it's going to crush your drive. It's going to crush the momentum. You're going to have – so there's so many other things just on 112 penalties. You go and point to all of those. Half of them were probably drive killers. So I think that's something that we kind of need to sharpen up on. But besides that, those numbers are not bad at all.
Yeah, definitely. Jacob, what do you think about these numbers, man? Anything stick out to you? What do you think is going to be the key here? And, again, these are 2 different teams, right? These were the numbers from last year. Let's don't sit here and pretend like, all right, these are the same exact teams to come back. Obviously, we've got a new center. We added a first-round pick at wide receiver. I'm sure the Lions feel like they've improved to a certain extent, although they did lose their center, right? They downgraded at center. We upgraded at center. To the best of my knowledge, they didn't add a first-round wide receiver. Their first-round pick was a defensive tackle. So you would think that we're set to kind of improve a little bit on offense, as where they're at least staying the same. I can't see them being any better than they were last year. Those are hard numbers to duplicate, Jake.
Yeah, I agree. I think to me the two categories that kind of pop off the page, one would be the obvious one, the penalties, like you just touched on. Like Emilio said, if we can get that under 100, that would be great, which again is going to be tough to do considering I hate using the excuse, the youngest team in the league, but that's one where I think it kind of, you could understand the coordination there and how one could influence the other, being just younger, not as disciplined, not enough reps, whatever the case may be. So that's got to get shored up because I can't use that as an excuse this year. Just like Reef says, I think the guys are more professional this year. They have to be more professional this year to take that step. The other one would be the record in close games, 5-5. That to me, that if we can shore up 3 or 4 more wins out of that type of thing, your whole season is different after that.
Yeah.
The record in close games for the Lions, it's 7-2. That's way easier for them to have the type of record that they did, and the 5-5 just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. So I hope we shore that up.
Maybe we just keep the close games to a minimum, boat race everybody this year, right?
Exactly.
Good luck with that, man. Good luck with that. It's the NFL, baby. They boy, oh boy, it seems like every week, even when a game gets out of hand, like this Dallas game, right? Catching 8.5 points, put 2 units on it. That's what I did, right? And then you get a little bit later in the game. If the game got a little bit out of hand, double down if it gets to a +10. And that way you can make that money back if for some reason it does kind of go awry. But right now, at +8.5 looking pretty good. Now talk to me tomorrow morning. I'll probably add a little bit of cash. We'll see how that goes. So, but yeah, this is going to be – there's no better way to start the season than this Packers-Lions matchup, man. Because we're going to find out a lot. You guys know every week I go, all right, we get another piece of the puzzle put in place, right? We're going to see, is this a different Packers team this year? Are they going to be bullied? Because, when we came out last year, when we played the Lions, it felt like the Lions bullied us a little bit. Well, what'd you do in the offseason? You went and bolstered that offensive line. You got bigger on the offensive line, right? And now you go and add Micah Parsons. You're going to add a little more attitude. We played that clip at the top of the show. But this is definitely going to be a more physical football team for the Green Bay Packers. I think I'm feeling the closer we get to kickoff, I'm feeling better about this game against the Lions, but I do think it's going to come down to one possession at the end. And as boring as it sounds, it's going to be the team that makes the fewer mistakes that wins this ball game. The ones who protect the football better, that's going to be the team that wins the ball game, in my opinion. So I know we've been talking sacks and all this different, stuff that's exciting and this and that. But for me, man, it always comes back to protecting the football and taking the ball away. And we've talked about it all offseason. Ball king, right? Jacob was giddy over it, going crazy over the ball king. Emilio's talked about it. Tim, you were right there seeing it firsthand, man. You were 5 feet away from them doing the drills. And we've seen how many times we see the defensive line drills of them working in tandem, smacking the ball out, recovering. One smacking the ball out of the makeshift quarterback's hands while the other defender next to him recovers, right?
Absolutely. It's a point of emphasis. It's been that way since OTAs, I think, in minicamp. It's a real thing. It's a mindset that you have to have as a defense in general, right? And everyone teaches that, right? Punch the ball out, play the ball, right? It's a general assumption, but it's another thing to literally make that like the poster board statement of your defense is we're playing the ball. And I think we're going to see the Packers definitely turning it up when it comes to turnovers. I think we definitely have more takeaways this year than we did last year, for sure.
All right. Anything else on the Packers Lions, boys? Anything at all?
No, I mean, run the ball, pass the ball, stop them from running the ball, and stop them from passing the ball. I think we got us a
nice
game right there.
That's a good game plan, man.
That's a good game plan, Matt. That's how you draw it up, baby.
So let's take a quick look at this box score in the game that's going on, and we'll get out of here just to kind of give everybody an update on how that's looking statistically between the Cowboys and the Eagles. So looking at the box score, Dak Prescott, 3 of 3 for 56 yards, no tutters yet. Jalen Hurts, 3 of 3 for 34 yards. Obviously, he's got the rushing touchdown, 2 carries, 11 yards, and a touchdown. Saquon Barkley averaging 5 yards a clip already, 4 for 20. And CeeDee Lamb looked like he's going to have him a game tonight, boys. 2 catches already for 50 yards. It ain't even halftime yet. So you had him on your fantasy team. Who's got him in your fantasy league, Jacob? CeeDee Lamb.
Oh God, I don't know.
What are you talking about? That's
Not
my
me. I know
child.
that.
I saw Ryan was tweeting about saying that his daughter. He said he's got one of the 4 that actually is interested in football. Said that she's got CeeDee Lamb in her fantasy, so she's hoping for him to go off. We're already in a good track for that. Love it.
Yeah, and no sacks so far. So
Bates says he
had.
Oh, dude, I don't want to hear that. I'm playing Bates this week, and his team.
I hope Bates wipes you, Jacob.
He's gonna. It sucks.
Look at this right here. Let me highlight it for you, Jacob, just so you don't miss it here. All right, man. Let's just go right there. Okay. Remember that name, buddy. That might cost you a win this week. All right. So what's the name of your team, Jacob? Can you say it on the air?
Yeah. This one I made sure I cleaned up. It just says Beard Commissioner. That's it.
Nice.
That's so lame, Jacob. I'm so disappointed in you, man.
I'll show you some of my other ones off air. You'll be happy again.
What's Bates's team name? I gotta know.
Bates, what's your name? I can't remember. It's something stupid.
Put it in the unbelievable, this guy right here, man.
I'm cranky because Bates has a really, really good team, and the way that this the draft was formatted. Now nobody has a good team, but he has a really, really good team.
Tim, we got breaking news, man. Can you help me out here? We got breaking news. Fresh off the press, CeeDee Lamb now has 76 yards this season. Look at this right here. My goodness. Jacob, man.
Yeah, he's beating me. He's already. Yeah, we're back, boys. Fantasy football. I'm getting whooped in fantasy. We're back.
Jacob's over there thinking to himself,
playoffs? Don't talk.
Jacob,
how fast did you give up on the season? If you lose this game, is the fantasy league over? Are you just out of it?
No. I give it a good quarter of the season before I start selling.
Jacob going to be reaching out to Bates after this, trying to trade for CeeDee Lamb.
Get over here! Built to ass. BTA. Know what I'm saying?
All right, let's get out of here, boys. Anything else? We good?
I think we good.
I think we're good.
All right.
NFL
that's
football.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, we made it. I'm so excited. Tomorrow we got another game, boys, in Brazil, right? Brazil.
So what happens? All right, real quick. What happens if something happens to AFAM's Chiefs playing on that field? Do you think the NFL will then do something about it?
See, that's the thing, right? They were complaining bad earlier today. Even the practice field looked absolutely horrible. I don't know if you guys seen my tweet or not, but I was trolling everybody. Oh, now all of a sudden it's an issue, huh?
Oh, it's a problem now that the Chiefs are down there. Absolutely.
Love trashed his knee last year, week 1 on that field, but yeah, now all of a sudden it's an issue. I got you. Makes sense. So. Funny how that works. But, yeah, listen, I don't wish injury on anybody. I know you don't either, Emilio. But I'm with you, man. If something happens down there to Mahomes, oh, my God, watch them. Watch them. They'll change. They'll never be back to Brazil. There's no two ways about it. So, Greg Rice says if you could put up the link for tomorrow, we can hang in the chat there. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, so we'll we'll always have a link in here for sure, man, for the next show. Now, here's the thing. Here's the plan. Tomorrow, we'll be getting the final injury report. We'll get the, kind of the injury designations for the game coming up. Saturday, if they want to do it, I think the guys, I don't want to put words in their mouth, and they can't. It's no big deal. Saturday, I think Jacob and Tim were going to do a show together, right? If you guys can't, it's totally cool. I'm going to be tailgating all day at the University of Tennessee football game. So I'll be down there on Saturday, tied up all day. And then Sunday, that's right, baby. That's right down there with the ball Navy. Sunday, I think Tim's going to be boots on the ground at Lambeau. Jacob, are you available Sunday for the pregame, postgame show?
Oh, yeah. Big time.
You sounded like Kevin Malone just then. That was absolutely awesome, dude.
I might be puking beforehand, but yeah, I'll be.
I say it wouldn't be a pregame show without you going, oh, I'm getting nervous.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Cheese curds make my stomach hurt all the time, but I do eat them though.
And Emilio, I think you said you're going to be on here with us, right? Is that the plan?
Should be good to go.
Could be. That means he won't. So we appreciate you trying, though.
No, it's 3:00. I should be awake by then. We should be good to go.
Oh my
Good
God.
morning, Mexican America. Love it. All right, guys. We're out of here. If y'all would, please hit that like button for us. Hit subscribe. If you're new here, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Make sure you click that bell icon so you're notified every time we do go live. Also, doing a giveaway on Sunday for the post-game show an autographed rookie Lucas Van Ness card. So just anybody who's a member in the Patreon group or a member here on YouTube, it's just a way for us to give back to those who are supporting the channel. This is all stuff that's coming from my personal stash. So we'll get it sent right over to you. So appreciate everybody hanging out. Tim, Jake, Emilio, y'all are awesome, dude. Thank y'all so much, man. This was fun.
Absolutely.
All right. We'll see y'all tomorrow. As always, go out and be the change we want to see in the world, and go Pack, go.
There we go.
Bye, guys.